Good evening and welcome to another episode of Grassroots Vegan. I'm David Kelly. Day 3 of 100% raw, low-fat raw vegan, predominantly fruits and vegetables. So what I would like to talk about today is I bought something really special this evening, and I will share that with you at the end of the video. How were my energy levels today? And can you thrive on eating less? So let's begin with, can you thrive on eating less? Now this is Robert Lockhart in his video that basically inspired me to do this 3-month 100% raw challenge. He mentioned partway through the video that the longer you go 100% raw, that means eating predominantly fruits and vegetables, the more efficient your digestion becomes and the less you need to eat. And he compares it to an automobile. You have an efficient car and you have an inefficient car. And, you know, it sounds logical. It seems to make sense, but can we really use that analogy, the analogy of a car in comparison to a human being? And probably on some level, some brute level, we can. But I think the human, the body is far more complex. Well, it's alive, it's organic. And so it's a different whole system altogether. But when I think of what he said, the idea that the longer you do this 100% raw fruitarian lifestyle, you'll be able to eat less. I think in terms of if you lose weight and you get lighter, then you're going to get more mileage out of the calories that you consume. Like, for example, I'm a runner, and I would like to be 10 pounds lighter than what I am, because I know with the weight that I have on now as a runner, it requires me to expend more energy for the same distance as somebody that is much lighter than I am. So definitely being lighter, and this is likewise with automobiles, lighter cars use less gas to get to the same distance as heavier cars. So that logic works. And then there's the other issue of digestion. And I guess you can compare it to the cars, you know, where the gas flows through. If the gas filters are dirty and clogged up, then you're going to burn through more fuel to get to a certain distance. Or if the oil filter is dirty, likewise, you get this inefficiency taking place. So for sure, with our digestion, if our digestion is in poor shape when we come to this lifestyle, then perhaps some of the calories that we're consuming are passing through our digestive system without being properly assimilated and delivered to our blood cells where the energy is needed. And in that case, I think there's an argument for this. But, you know, it's still begs the question, is this really true? That perhaps you could eat maybe 1,000 calories less a day over a period of time and do the same amount of activity. And I don't know about that. I mean, I think of athletes, for example, and well, let's use an example of a raw foodist, Michael Arnstein. He was doing ultra marathons and won a number of races, and I believe he was the top 10 in North America, if I'm correct. And he was eating a fruitarian diet to the extreme. He was probably more 95-5-5 rather than 80-10-10, and he definitely was not reducing calories over time. His calorie consumption was quite high to meet the physical demands that he was imposing on his body. So I don't know, like how true that is. I think it really depends on how active you are. So yeah, the less active you are, then the less energy you're going to expend, the fewer calories you're going to need to consume. This is just common sense, I think. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to think of this logically and trying to wrap my head around what Robert Lockhart really means by eating less. And I think there's a danger there that this would even be desirable by raw foodists and people coming into this lifestyle. What you need to eat, like sleep, is enough food. So depending on how much energy you are expending, like for example, I ran 22.34 kilometers today, and according to my Garmin, I burned through 1,632 calories. So yeah, I mean, I need to make sure that I'm consuming enough calories to be able to recover adequately from that kind of physical activity. So that, this is just something I'm putting out there. I don't have a specific answer to the question, can we thrive on less? It's like Robert Lockhart has been doing this for decades, but I don't get the impression that he's running marathons or anything like that. So if you have an opinion on this, then leave a comment. I'd be really interested in hearing more about this. So my energy levels today were very good. Unlike yesterday and the day before were kind of iffy. Today my energy has been quite high. As I've already mentioned, I ran just over half a marathon today. My digestion as well. I had 3 bowel movements, and the consistency of my stools were, I would say, they were acceptable, not ideal. I'm not sure what an ideal stool is, but you can go online and you get this kind of chart of the different kinds of stools and what is considered an ideal stool. I think I was in a pretty good range today. I'm not going to go into details like I did the other days because I don't think it's necessary. But so great bowel movements, high energy level, slept basically 8 hours last night, went to bed at 11:45, got up at 7, so 8 hours, 15 minutes. What did I eat today? I had grapes, 6 bananas. I had a B12 shot today. I inject B12 about once a month. And for lunch, I had apples and more bananas. And then for dinner, I had cucumber, and I made a big salad again. This time I was able to eat my salad. I included some chives and some radishes as well in the salad, along with tomatoes. Now, I just realized something. I didn't total up the number of calories I ate today, but I'm going to make a guess. It was probably at least about 3,000 calories. So that was basically, today was a good day, doing 100% raw. Now, what did I buy tonight? Oh boy, big purchase. Now, this is something that I have been toying with all summer long, and some people, when they get an interest in something, they just jump into it. I have to kind of mull it over in my head and think out all the pros and cons before I act on it, especially when it comes to a purchase like what I made tonight. Basically, I bought myself a bicycle, a road bike, Trek. A Trek Domain 4.5 carbon frame. I know nothing about bikes. This is the thing, okay? I've never owned a road bike before. I mean, I biked as a kid. But yeah, this is a whole new ball of wax for me. And So I don't have the bike tonight. It's still at the shop. I got to go in tomorrow, get everything adjusted properly, and then I got to get outfitted, which is another expense. But I'm doing it. I'm getting into biking, and I think what inspired me was watching Durian Ryder and Freely the Banana Girl doing all their biking and everything. And I thought, that's really cool. I think I could get into that. So it's a new experience that I'm introducing into my life. And tomorrow, when I get my bike, I will show you what it looks like. In the meantime, take care, carb up, and have a great evening.